Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandab, 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 namandab. Good morning, and welcome to today's Sunday service. I am Sensei Keith Kato, and it is my honor to perform today's Sunday service. As in my past services, I wanted to express my thanks to Stuart Ito for being the engineer for today's broadcast, and to Reverend Patty Oshta for providing the music for today's Gatha. Please join me in Gassho for the opening meditation. If people walk looking far ahead and pay no attention to the ground beneath their eyes, they will stumble. If people gaze critically upon others and forget to look into themselves, they will bring tragedy upon themselves. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandab, 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 namandab. Next, we will have the reading of the three treasures. Three treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriad of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandab, 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 namandab. Next, we will have the chanting of Ju Se Ge. Namandab, 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 namandab. 主十期天根普賢一周解放像公正功徳法上大集中説法四式供養一切部具足修徳本元年秩序満徳意三害を女仏無下地通達未不詳願学営利投資最小尊志願や効果大仙王感動国書天人当内妙慶ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがにしくどく平等性一切どんぼ大師往生安楽ナマンナモアミダ仏ナモアミダ仏ナモアミダ仏ナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダナマンダ。Next, we will have the reading of the Golden Chain. Golden Chain. I am a link on Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 namanda. Next, we will sing the Gatha with grateful hearts. Good morning again. Today's message is an extension of last Sunday's Bodhi Day message, a wonderful message by Sensei Calvin Mark, and it will bridge to the Christmas holiday. 5 days ago, on December 8th, all the temples of the Buddhist churches of America celebrated the Buddhist holiday, Bodhi Day. For approximately 50 years before going to Kyoto, Japan in 2014 for my Tokudo, I often wondered what struggles Prince Siddhartha went through while sitting in a lotus or cross-legged posture under the Bodhi tree before he became a Buddha at the age of 35. I discovered the answer during one of my Tokudo educational classes. There I found out that there were 8 significant events during the life of Prince Siddhartha, aka Shakyamuni Buddha. The 5th event, entitled Goma, tells us that after 6 years of roaming about in India, unsuccessfully seeking the answer to human suffering, Siddhartha sat under a Bodhi tree and meditated for 49 days. And during that period, Siddhartha experienced nightmares conjured up by Mara, the demon king of illusions, in order to break Siddhartha's concentration in becoming a Buddha. Examples of these nightmares included 1, trying to convince Siddhartha that it was his destiny to return home to become the rightful ruler of India. 2, telling Siddhartha to return home to reclaim his kingdom from his cousin Devadatta, who crushed the Shaka clan and killed his parents. And 3, attacking Siddhartha with Mara's mythical army of soldiers during times of rain, hail, thunder, fire, and earthquake. And 4, finally, as all else failed, using Mara's daughters' desire, pleasure, and delight to seduce Siddhartha with dance, music, song, and physical pleasures to dissuade Siddhartha from attaining enlightenment. Through his unwavering concentration and meditation, Siddhartha vanquished Mara from his thoughts, became the Shakyamuni Buddha, the awakened one, and achieved enlightenment by discovering the universal truth regarding the true nature of life and human suffering. As Shakyamuni Buddha would teach his followers for the next 45 days of his life, the Four Noble Truths explain that all human beings are imperfect, and because of our ego, we suffer from disappointment, heartache, depression, loneliness, hatred, betrayal, jealousy, and sadness. Within the human ego that causes our suffering, selfishness and greed promote our desires, cravings, and attachments. It all comes down to what we want, and in blunt terms, to hell with everyone else. As such, we find ourselves easily angered when things don't go our way, and because we are ignorant in not understanding the dangers of selfishness and greed, we are stuck in the perpetual cycle of unrelenting suffering. With the upcoming holidays and Christmas only 12 days away, selfishness and greed will again rear their ugly heads. All of us can remember the euphoria of happy times when we were kids, anticipating the delicious meals and gifts to be opened in a warm, comfortable home with family members. After Christmas and New Year's holidays have ended, we find that our happiness, joy, and appreciation for those wonderful times have unfortunately faded away. We have already become bored with our gifts because, as the Four Noble Truths point out, human beings are always craving for more, never satisfied, and sadly taking things for granted, such as receiving gifts as being a right and not a privilege. For Buddhists, the Dharma opens our eyes to the fact that the world is more than individuals concerned with their own selfishness. Buddhism shows us that the bigger picture that in which human beings have to communicate with, work with, and rely upon each other so that we can coexist in this world of universal greed. It is the Noble Eightfold Path, as taught by Shakyamuni Buddha, that guides us to overcome suffering. The foundation of the Eight Noble Path is the teaching of right view, where we acknowledge impermanence and constant changes in our lives. Because we don't know how much precious time we truly have to live, we must savor those moments through the teaching of right mindfulness in order to be focused on the present, the gift of experiencing what is truly going on right now. And as we are concentrating during those times, the teaching of right effort propels us to do the best we can with enthusiasm and positive attitude. And within the framework of right effort, right thought, thinking pure and beautiful thoughts, right speech, saying pure and beautiful words, and right conduct, doing pure and beautiful deeds, will enable us to display our humility in the form of respect, sincerity, understanding, truth, and compassion for all that we come in contact with. And finally, the teaching of right meditation compels us to reflect upon what we have done with our lives, if not every day, then once in a while. When we have lived according to the teachings of the Noble Eightfold Path, we find ourselves on the path of the Nembutsu, living a life of gratitude as we experience the gift of life. We know that Christmas is an annual Christian holiday that commemorates the birth of Jesus Christ. I have often asked myself, why do Buddhists celebrate Christmas? Could it be because Buddhists are attracted to the traditional Christmas message of peace on earth, goodwill to all, with the underlying theme of love, kindness, caring, compassion to be shared by all? As the famous Vietnamese monk Thich Nhat Hanh had stated in his book, Living Buddha, Living Christ, the teachings of Buddhism and Christianity intertwine with each other and with their respective wisdoms help shape the lives of the followers to replace suffering with joy and peace in our lives by directing us to focus on what really is important in life. For me, the answer to why do Buddhists celebrate Christmas is cherishing that special time of the year when we enjoy the gift of being with the people we love. Unfortunately, during this time of pandemic, some of us will not be able to get together during this Christmas season. The adage, we don't know how much we miss something until we don't have it, really hits home. And it is during these moments when we realize the teaching of compassion, our connections to the ones who truly bring special meaning into our lives. And sadly, we realize how much we have taken our family and friends for granted. However, Buddhism counters our remorse by directing us to open our Dharma eyes, to acknowledge that compassion that we can be truly grateful for these people. Christmas is that special time of the year that reminds us to express that well-deserved Thank you for our special family and friends. And as such, to all of our family and dear friends, thank you for your support and always being there for us. And on a special note, a very special thank you to my wife Shirley and my sons Jeff and Russell for being there for me. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Normally, on this part of the program, we would sing a second Gatha, but since this is the last Sunday of the Sunday service for the 2020 year, I wanted to try to do something different. And I wondered what that would be. And then when I saw the Thursday night sing-along with Merv Maruyama, he gave me an inspiration. And that inspiration was, if Buddha were to write a Christmas song, what would that be? And I think I have the answer. Unfortunately, I have to apologize in advance because I understand that the video is not, there might be some hiccups in the video. According to Stuart, he said the audio file has spurs and clicks, whatever that may be. But anyways, please sit back and enjoy the following video, which is a Christmas wish sung by the One Voice Children's Choir. Stuart?
Christmas is a time for peace. It's a time for love. It's a time for you and me. It's filled with wonder, it's filled with hope. You can feel it everywhere you go. So just imagine peace on earth this Christmas, for the children and the children yet to come. It just takes one day like Christmas to make the world a better place for everyone. Christmas is a time to look inside. Open up our hearts. Open up our eyes. See that we are brothers and sisters too. It's really not that hard for us to do. So just imagine peace on earth this Christmas. For the children and the children yet to come. It just takes one day like Christmas to make the world a better place for everyone. Christmas is a time for us to give, share a smile, feel like a kid. So won't you join us in a Christmas wish that we could all share a Christmas gift. Christmas is a time for peace. It's a time for love. It's a time for you and me. It's filled with wonder, it's filled with hope. And you can feel it everywhere you go.
Please join me in Gassho for closing meditation. With Buddha's teaching of wisdom and compassion, let us continue to protect ourselves and our fellow human beings by continuing to wear a mask, wash our hands, and social distance from each other as we overcome this pandemic with the new vaccines. Normal times will once again return, and when it does, let us enjoy the companionship, laughter, and passion in our lives. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandab, namandab, namandab. Before I end today's service, I just wanted to say, please take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and please try to enjoy the Christmas and New Year's holiday. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.